Hi, so good evening and welcome to SAS Sober and Smiling. My name is Rob.
Like a big turkey.
I'm Nick.
I'm Liam.
And I'm Jamie.
You talking about your teeth?
Yeah, well, why? I have a big turkey.
So yes, welcome to episode 46. I believe we're going to continue from last week and the week before, so we're going to continue a little myth-busting theme. Just past 7. So yeah, we'll just continue with this, and then we'll just jump in. So it's going to be, we've got three questions, so it's all around relationships, really. So so common myths, really, for anybody. So common myths of addiction, what people think. What the difference in colour? Is that what you're pointing out?
Our legs are like parallel, like sin.
Oh, okay. So yes, first one is addiction is a choice. So we hear this quite a bit that all the non-addicts out there and your partners and everybody else think that it's addiction, drinking, drugging is your choice. You do it on purpose, and there's no reason why you can't stop. Yeah, hear it many times or heard it many times that you can just stop drinking, just stop. If you love me, you'd stop. Why can't you just have one? Why do you have to drink? All this sort of stuff. So is addiction really a choice back then? For me, it's a big no.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it is a choice. It's obviously, it's neurological, isn't it? This up here.
Yeah.
You know, you're either, like we've always said, you're born with something that up in your brain that you want more of whatever it may be, gambling, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever. And you start off that thing and you can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
But I do think you shoot me down if you think I'm wrong, but I do think you have got a choice on how you handle things. So, like for instance, this addict, me, in the past, I wanted to change how I feel. Like you know, if you're angry, if you're upset, if you can't, whatever, you go straight for that thing to take you out of that.
Yeah.
And you know, I do believe that once you take that one, you are powerless, but you do have power and a choice of whether to go, okay, do I or do I not? Do you know what I mean?
Is that in active addiction? Because I totally agree with you that now it's a choice. For me, anyway, now it's a choice. So if I go out there again, that's my choice.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Back then in the madness.
Oh, if you're completely knee deep in it,
it just wasn't a choice.
It's a vicious circle, isn't it? You know, you can't. You know, every day you're in it and you can't get out of it. But once you find your way out of it, where we are today, I have a choice to whether to walk out of here and go pick up or not.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to stop me. It's my choice.
Yeah.
And I choose not to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, no, totally. My missus said something the other day. I can't remember what it was about, but it was something to do, obviously, to do with alcohol. And her reaction was just like, "No, you can't do that because whatever it was, drinks involved and going out or whatever it was." And it's just like, babe, we're fucking 8 years down the line. It's a choice now. It's not. There shouldn't be any discussion anymore.
Absolutely.
There shouldn't be any fear. There shouldn't be any doubt in that. It's my choice. If I wanted to drink, then no matter what you said, I'd fucking go and get one.
Exactly.
I don't care what anyone would say. If I wanted a drink, I'd just go out and get one. It's my choice not to have a drink. And it's only my fucking choice.
This is where I've always said as well, is I've learned obviously through the years of being around sobriety and the many relapses I've had, you've got to get to that point where you want sobriety for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's when you get to that point where it's a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're getting sober for anybody else, and you know, we all know the score, if you're getting sober for your partner or just to prove things to people, oh look at me, I'm sober now kind of thing, then it's not gonna work.
No.
You know, and you have to go through that cycle where you go, hang on a minute, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
actually, I'm doing it for me because I want to be sober. That is my fucking choice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
I'm very much the same. Like, when you're in active addiction, it isn't a choice, and this is some people don't understand. Like people who've never been in addiction will understand just how much of a force that is. When you're in active addiction, there is no choice because your whole life revolves around what you're going to do. I mean, I remember going from my drinking. I'd start work at 7 in the morning, and by about 7:10, I'm already plotting what I'm doing for my next drink and how I'm going to get it, and that, and nothing was going to stop me. I could, Jesus Christ, I always said I could have planned bank robberies and that when I went with that much precision when I was still drinking that. But obviously, like you said, once you've come out of it, then you've got that sobriety time. If you go back into it, yes, that is a choice. Yeah. You've made that choice yourself, and that's something you can't hide from because you've had that sober time and you know what it's like and how good it feels. And if you want to go back to that, then that is 100% on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah. No, I agree with that as well. You know, it's a choice now. But when you're in active addiction, you don't have any choice in the matter whatsoever. You know, some people early stages probably have the choice, but for me, where my addiction went to, I couldn't control my choices I made when I was in active addiction. You know, and the choices that I made were absolutely ridiculous. And like you say, people don't understand. You know, they just tell you just to stop. And like you say, if you love me enough, you'd stop. But it's not. You know, if it was that easy, every fucker would stop, wouldn't he?
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've chosen fucking drink over my own kids. I'm quite not happily done it, but I would do it 10 times out of 10.
Yeah,
No,
it becomes the most important thing in your life,
It is
isn't
the
it?
most important, yeah. I mean,
It's the first thing you think about when you wake up, and it's the last thing you think about when you go
To
to
be
sleep.
honest, that's the main thing about it, isn't it? The chase of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That for me it was the planning and how I'm going to get away with it, and then chasing it. The actual doing the thing was it was like, okay, I've done it. I want more now. Do you know what I mean? And the whole build up to it, that was the buzz.
And the sneaking
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
around and getting it.
The anticipation of getting it.
Well, if you think about it, you get nothing. Well, I got nothing from actually fucking using. Absolutely nothing. Apart from all the bad shit. I've got nothing good out of using. The only, like you say, the only thrill, the only expectation was planning it, doing it. Not actually the effect itself. The effect itself was fucking diabolical. Hated it. Hated every second of it.
And the precision planning that you go to, I mean, it's, you know, the depth, the detail that you go to plan that drink or that drug is insane. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You'll create backups upon backups.
Backup, yeah.
Like I said, I want to get this from. What I always do, right, I'll get this beer from that shop, but if that shop's closed, then I'm going to go to this one.
Yeah.
And then I'd have like 3 or 4 backups just in case something went wrong. And that even resorting to like an half an hour walk to Tesco's in the middle of the night if needed.
And you go to any fucking length.
Oh,
literally any fucking length to go.
Regardless
matter
of the
whether
time
you've
of the day, you
yeah.
ain't got the money, you'd make it happen. You'd make it work. And that's, you know, that's to me, you know, when you sort your addiction out, it can become a bit of a superpower because if you put that effort
into
something else, you'll succeed massively. I believe, because like you say, there's nothing that's going to stop you from getting to that end goal of getting that drink or that drug that you want. You know, nothing's going to stop you. You will make it happen regardless. If you've got, you know, if you've got no money, if you know, got no transport, you've got nothing, you'll make it work somehow, and you'll go to the end of the earth to make it work.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. You've got that effort in you to do that. So if you use 10% of that effort into your recovery, especially in the early stages, you can get sober.
Yeah.
You know, people don't think that they can do it, do they?
No.
And it does take some doing, but you know, you've got the drive in you to do the drug. So use that drive to not do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leads us on to another one. Here there's quite a bit as well. We've already spoken about this. If they loved you, then
you will stop.
We've already spoken about that one really. It's emotional blackmail, really, isn't it? People saying that if you loved me, you'd stop.
Yeah.
Just not going to work. Anything like that to me, literally anything. Back in the addiction stage, literally anything like that would just be like a red rag to a bull.
Yeah,
It's just been more fun. I'm gonna be worse.
Yeah, fucking that.
Tell me to stop, and I'll drink more.
Yeah.
Tell me I've got a problem, and I'll carry on. I'll bury my head in the sand. Give me an intervention and I've had quite a few interventions with family and friends and everything else when I was in it. It spurred me on to fucking do more.
Yeah.
Because I was in the right.
Yeah, we were never wrong. Yeah.
I was never fucking wrong, and I was in the right. I could have been absolutely plastered off my tits, sat on a fucking, or not sat on the table, because I can't fucking sit down because I'm spilling off it, and someone could tell me that you got a problem. Absolutely fucking no, I haven't. How dare you?
Yeah.
And then I'd storm out and go fucking get another drink.
And then you go, that justification to get another drink.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't confront people like that. Not addicts, because it don't fucking work.
It doesn't work, no.
Sometimes that one you can kind of understand where the person's coming from, obviously, because there could be at a point where it's been gone on that long. They're just saying, should I be trying to stop and that. But it's one of them. It's you can kind of understand where they come from, but at the same time, what they don't realise is it's not helping.
No,
because like you say, depending on the person you are, like you say, you take umbrage with and go, "Fuck you, I'm not doing it." Or the opposite side of that, another side of it is you'll just get rid of the guilt, because then you're sort of going, "Oh no, there's nothing I can do." And they think the guilt might get you to stop, but it doesn't. All it does is creates that vicious circle. Because what's the first thing you want to do when you get guilt, when you feel bad about yourself? You just want to go, you want to get rid of the thoughts, you'll pick up, you'll do it. And what the people don't realise is just then you're just back to square one. And
well, for me, it also creates resentment, because you just say to someone, you don't get it. If you think I can just stop like that, then you don't get it. And I remember before I went to rehab, I went to see a psychologist, and this is why I do what I do now, because they've been to uni, they've got a degree, they've got initials next to their name, and they just told me just to stop or to cut down. I'm like, you what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When one told me to cut down, I just thought that was I didn't have to stop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I tried, in my head, I try and stop or cut down every single day.
Yeah.
Before I go to sleep, that's what I mean, tomorrow, I'll calm it down a bit. And that tomorrow never comes, does it?
No.
You're just stuck in that bloody ridiculous cycle all the time. So when people just, like I say, if you love me, just stop.
Well, that's the thing. That they seem to think it's a choice. All these questions lead back to somebody thinking that we have a choice in active addiction to do something about it, and you haven't got a fucking choice. And that's the point. Yeah. You haven't got a choice. It's just like, well, cut down or just stop. It's just like, that's not a fucking option. Forget that idea, because it's not an option to do that. You've got to come to it yourself, and once you've come to it yourself, then the options come in, and then the choices come in. But before that, there is no fucking choice. There is no
you
option.
have to get to that point.
Yeah.
You
have to get to that point, and you can't. And what I've realised is as well, if you try and do it with somebody else, it don't work either. Because that's what I've done a few times I've been around. I think I did it for my mum the first time, my wife the second time, and the kids the third time. That doesn't work either, because you've got to hold your hand up and say, I'm fucked and I need some help.
Yeah.
And if you don't accept that, you need that help and you're doing it for you, it's never going to work.
No.
And also as well, while we're on that subject, another thing that annoys me as well, you go to rehab for 4 weeks and everyone just expects you to be fixed when you come out.
Yeah.
Or then then you kind of go out. I see people every now and again, if I go out, and they say, yeah, but you'd be right to drink again one day, won't you?
Yeah.
Like, it don't work like that.
No.
Yeah, but surely a year down the line you'd be all right. But people, like I say, people just don't understand addiction, do they?
No, they don't get it.
It's hard for them to understand if they've never lived it either, or they've got, or they're not done any homework around it. I think even if you read it in a book, you still won't understand how powerful that urge is when you're in, when you're in addiction. Because they said the only choice I have today is putting that first drink or drug inside of me, and then what happens from that, the consequences and all the carnage that comes after that. That's not me doing that. Well, it is, but I think that's how I kind of forgive myself, because I understand now that all the shit that I did in active addiction, it wasn't me, because the person that sat here today wouldn't dream of doing the shit that I did.
Yeah.
When I was, when I was stuck in that cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, and we all understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly what you've just said. We totally understand that, and I totally get that. That I totally agree that wasn't you and that wasn't me, and now this person is completely different, which is why they need to treat us differently. But people don't understand, and that's hopefully where these things and these podcasts and stuff come into it. That we try and get the message across. Whether it will totally get across, I doubt it. Because unless you've been an addict, you will never understand how or what train of thought happens. So these, and I've done a few counsellors and stuff, and unless the first fucking question that I always ask anybody that tries to tell me what to fucking do is, have you been an addict yourself? Because if you haven't been an addict, fucking do one.
Yeah,
because you don't understand.
Yeah,
you'll never understand, and that's.
Well, it's the same principle of someone bringing a book out about parenthood that have not got kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same kind of principle, really.
Yeah.
You know, people tell you how to look after your kids. Have you got any? No. Well, how the fuck can you tell me how to be a parent then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's true. Like you say, you can have all the, all the grades and all the bloody initials actually name in the world, but if you've not suffered with ADHD or addiction or anything like that, you do not know.
No, they don't. They
don't.
don't.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And I've seen some of them online and watched some like professors and doctors of whatever, got thousands, and they talk about how the addict is and what they suffer from, and it's just total bullshit.
Yeah,
you don't understand.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
I watched this thing talking about professors and stuff. It kind of like, resonated with me a little bit. It was I can't remember when I watched it, but it said something about when an addict is using, drinking, whatever instead of looking at the bad side of it, look at what's good for it for them. Why are they taking it? Why are they getting high? Why are they drinking? Why is that making them feel good? And it's obviously an inside job, isn't it? There's something going off inside why they get lost in this vicious circle of addiction, because they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
They've lost who they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's a massive thing.
Or another way to look at it is like you found a way to self-medicate from something that's going off inside.
Exactly. That's why they said look at what's good about it.
Yeah, because there's a massive.
Not saying it's good, but you know what I mean.
I think the percentage is like, especially in men, like you've got an 85% chance of having some form of addiction if your ADHD goes undiagnosed as a child.
Yeah.
Because you found something to shut that internal noise up in your head.
Yeah.
It calms you down. Like I say, cocaine to me does differently to what it does to normal. The normal person that takes coke, they're jumping and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Cocaine chills me out.
I'm the same.
And it's like and again, it's the same thing with like caffeine. If I can have a double espresso before I go to bed at night, and I can sleep like a baby, where a normal person would be fucking wired for hours.
Yeah,
it has like the opposite.
I have to take a coffee at bed.
Yeah, I take coffee. I have a coffee in bed. I have a coffee every night before I go to bed. Like I say, it has like the opposite effect on me.
Yeah.
But like I say, with the ADHD medication, I got diagnosed and then I got told not to have the medication because it's amphetamine and it's very similar to coke. I didn't listen. I got the medication and I started pushing up and snorting it.
Yeah.
Because it had the same kind of effect. So like I say, unless you kind of catch it in your childhood, you're not, you've got a massive, like I say, I think it's 85% chance of having some form of addiction issue when you get older.
Yeah.
So it's really high, especially in men it is, yeah.
But that's what addiction's about. That as we now understand, which I think has only come about because of things like it, because of podcasts and there's more information about that. Addiction isn't the classic addiction. Addiction is we're masking it to hide something else, and it's something that's going off in the brain.
You're not addicted to the drug.
No,
you're addicted to changing the way you feel.
Yeah.
100%. That's 1,000,000%. That's what it is.
Yeah, because like you say, drink and drugs are not addictive.
No. They're not.
If they were, everybody on this planet would be addicted.
Well, you just think everybody, and we've said this before, there's millions of operations every single day in the world.
Yeah.
Millions. And just around here, there's got to be a couple of hundred in Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
You're telling me that if it was addictive, to me it's addictive, those types of drugs and everything else, but there's 100 people coming out every single day that are suddenly addicted because they've had this drug. That's bollocks. Because they're not.
Yeah, it isn't. you know, and normal people like do not blag a couple of bottles of liquid morphine to take home from a minor operation. Because that's what I do. Every time I go for an operation, I blag a bottle of liquid morphine. Because I make it up. I put on like a bloody, you know, like an award-winning performance. You know that I need this liquid morphine.
This is where
and I've drank it before.
This is where it comes back to a neurological thing in some people as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
totally.
what you just said about that and what you just said about the hospitals and stuff, completely agree. You know, there's people go in there from accidents, car accidents, whatever, you know, with a pump full of shitloads of morphine, which is fucking a really strong drug. We all know that. You know, loads of medication. They don't walk out of the hospital an addict.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So it proves that it's not. It's the person and how they're wired up to they get addicted to little things, drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, whatever, because it changes the way they fucking feel.
And it sets off.
And it makes you feel better than for a certain amount of time. Do you know what I mean?
Because every drug that I've kind of fell over, come across because of whether it's been an accident or rehab or anything like that, I've had one and I thought, fucking hell, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, a normal person wouldn't do that.
No.
Yeah.
You know, you think, oh, fucking hell, I want some more of that. That's nice, that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was talking to somebody that had an operation a little while ago, and it was just like, oh, what'd you come out with? And it was just like that they had some strong fucking painkillers. And I was asking them about that, and they said, oh, I stopped taking it because it made me feel a bit fucking strange.
Yeah.
And to me, that fucking strange.
Where is it?
That's what I'm addicted to. That strangeness makes them feel fucking different.
Yeah.
But I want different.
Yeah.
In addiction, different is what I want, because that's what I'm longing, because I don't want to be what I am. I want to be different.
Want to be different,
And because that makes me different, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But normal people go out, fuck me, that means I don't like that. That's making me feel a bit different.
Control,
But to me,
that's what you're searching for, yeah. Because it's taking you out of you, isn't it? That's what it's doing. Right. It's just that temporary solution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we just got one more on that. So tough love. Again, they're all linked. So tough love. Do you think if a person is in addiction, I haven't experienced this tough love. I've got away from it.
I've been super lucky in that aspect.
Yeah,
I really have. You know, and you know, there's people out there who have lost everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm one of the lucky ones. Like, I'm not saying I'm the only one. There's hundreds of people out there who would be in the same position as me. I know, I get that. I know I'm not being egotistical or anything here, but I haven't lost everything. I didn't lose my house. You know, my relationship's been strong. I mean, she's literally been in the trenches with me.
Yeah.
I've got a really good, strong family network, and they're all around me now, and they all know who I am, what I'm like. Even close friends, not only you guys in the room, but friends outside as well. They all know. So I'm kind of lucky today that I've got that strong circle, and I think I do think that's very, very important to have strong love and strong friendship.
Yeah,
people who are there for you, who know what you're all about, who's got your fucking back. That is super important to me.
But we've got say people out there at the moment that are addicted and stuff, and their family friends consider that tough love is a good option, the only option to cure them. So they disown them, they kick them out of the house, they don't give them worse. They don't what they think is enabling them. So they cut their money off. They'll
find a way,
chuck them out, or and they think that's going to work. Doesn't
send you the way. Send you the way.
Someone tells me no, I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah,
it's simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And that is, again, I think that's an addict's brain as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you said, don't touch that, as soon as you walk out the room, I'm fucking touching it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's simple as that. It's simple.
Yeah.
But I think as an addict, you've got to let them get to that point where they go, I want sobriety or I don't. It's as simple as that. It can only go two fucking ways.
Yeah.
You're either gonna fucking die or you're gonna live. What's your choice? It's simple as that.
Oh, absolutely. But the I mean, I don't ever think it's a good idea. So if your partner's addicted or whatever, and you're not sure how to do it, do you like kick them out of the house? Do you give them access to money because you know that if they have access to money, they're going to go and buy that substance? I mean, to me, it makes no fucking difference because whether you give them that money or not, they're going to get it.
They're going to find
They're going to get it, whether they steal, rob. They're going to rob your purse or your fucking wallet anyway, and they have been for years, whether you like it or not, because we've all done that. We've all taken money that's not ours. But if you cut them off from all that shit, they're just going to get worse because they ain't going to stop.
No.
If you stop giving them stuff or allowing them access to stuff,
They'll just find another way of doing it.
they're going to find an even worse way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like you say, they have to come to that conclusion. Once they get to that conclusion, then it's happy days. But
I can speak from a bit of experience. My parents did a bit with me because I lived with my mum and dad till I was about 35. And in the end, my dad got that bad. They couldn't support it no more. So they didn't kick me out, but a flat came available. And they basically said, do you want it? And that. And it was all implied in kind of in a way of, you know, basically kind of want you out. But in my brain at the time, thought, all right, this might be beneficial to all. Why not? And I didn't kind of see it at the time. When you're in addiction, you don't quite see things and that. And during that course, things they sort of put me in there, and that they sort of distanced a little bit from me and that. And okay, at the time, I couldn't really have afforded the flat on my own because basically I wasn't earning enough. Or by the time I was done, no, tell her I was earning enough. But the problem was by the time I'd spent everything, by the time all my wages had come in and all my bills had gone out, I'd be living on a shoestring. And in the end, my brother came in, and that's a different conversation. But it wasn't until sort of a little time afterwards I thought, oh, they've done this on purpose. And I'll be honest, I was quite resentful for it. I was like, why not? If you want to be out, why don't you just say something? And obviously, luckily, I did well. And it was during that time in the flat was when I came round with sobriety and that. Because I think they were trying to be tough love to me, they basically got me out they wanted me to learn responsibilities, and get me to stand on my own 2 feet. So I've lived with them all my life. So I kind of get what they were doing. They were kind of hoping that would sort me out. And for a little while, I was resentful for it. And when I first got sober and I started getting a clear mind, and my brain sort of deviated a bit. And so, it kind of went for a while of the thing of, okay, now I get why you did it, but what happens if I wouldn't have gone that way? And still I was resentful for it. But now obviously a lot of time's passed, and now I'm completely at peace with the whole thing. I kind of understand their point of view, but I understand their point of view and I get why they did it. But I said for a long time that thing, but what happens if it would have gone wrong? What if it would have tipped me completely over? And I know they said, oh no, we would never let it get that far, but and I did say to them, not wrong, you don't know how an addict works.
But I bet you
don't know how an addict
works.
works.
Did you? I bet you didn't go without a drink, did you?
Of course
you always found a way.
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely. At one point, I was saying, God, I sold off my place. I sold off my PlayStation because I didn't have one then. So I sold my Xboxes, I sold off some of my guitars. I was selling all sorts at one point. I'm that desperate. That's how bad it got me. I was selling off loads of really stuff that I'd collected over the years and that.
Yeah.
And I started collecting, little things. I even went and got a second job just to try and get more money to keep me in drink.
Yeah. There's always a way.
Yeah. And
whether they think
that one did fancy it, well,
no one's going to stop you when
No one's gonna stop
you're
you.
stuck in that cycling. If I'd have got threatened to get, be left or kicked out of the house, where my head was at that time, I thought, fucking fine, I can use in peace. And that would be on the case. That's, it was like, it wasn't bad for me. That would have been good. because I could be left to do what I wanted to do.
Mm.
You know, that's how deep down the hole I was.
Yeah.
To be fair, Jim, that was the same way I thought when it first happened. I thought, right, I'm on my own now. I can do what I want. You know, I ain't got people
No one
watching
can
over
stop
me.
me. No one's going to get on
No,
the case.
But it weren't
Finally, I got a bit like fucking peace and quiet.
But it weren't finally until sort of rent and stuff like came in, I kind of clicked what was going on. But then again, by that time, my brother had moved in, so. And my brother had moved in, we were halving the bill, so.
Mm.
It still sort of kept me in the beer in the end, but it wasn't until I sort of, well, no, it wasn't just the rent, when all the bills came in, I kind of thought, I can see what you fucking do.
Mm.
And obviously, like you say, going back to things earlier, when you look at things like, oh, you've done that to me now, you know, why are you doing this? Why have you done that to me? You know, do you boot me out for no reason? And like I said, I was resentful for quite a while about it, but now I get why they did it, and that I get why they did it. And it's still, I said for a long time, it was, you know, it could have gone a bit either way, it could have gone completely wrong, but you know, there's no point. One thing we all learn in recovery is there's no point holding on to the past, because if you live in the past, you're going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got to keep looking forward.
I mean, quickly, I just don't think it works, because the resent. You say it could have gone the other way. If it went the other way, then the resentment side would have been even fucking.
Oh
worse.
yeah, absolutely.
You would have used more. You would have blamed more. It never has a good fucking outcome. Surely.
Oh no.
You just got. I mean, whether you like it or not, you've got to support an addict through what they're going through.
Mm.
Hopefully, one day they'll get to that stage where everybody gets to, and they'll be on the road to recovery. But I don't think. Yeah. It's just not fucking. Right, we're up on time already. So as I said last week, just quickly, we are going to change things, not straight away, but in the coming month, say maybe 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to do change a little format a tad. So we're going to need some speakers. They don't have to physically come here. You can do. We're in Drummond Road. This is Halton Hill in Skegness. You can quite happily pop along on a Thursday. If not, we can send you a link and you can jump on, a bit like a Zoom meeting. You'll jump on with a split screen, yeah. But we're going to try and get some guests every week or every other week. So there'll be more upcoming on that. Nick will put a little update on, and we'll get some people booked in. So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Please have a like, please have a share, and bear in mind, if you want to come on, then yeah, just keep that in mind. We'll definitely get you on, whatever your view is on the situation. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice one. Good.
Do something.